What's going on, everybody? Chase with iDub Hockey, here to do a review on the new TOVI Sabotage Classic V3 hockey stick. Now, this is that mid-price point model within the Sabotage line, which is a mid-kick family. So great for those players that like to take a little more time to get even more shot power, regardless of where they're at on the ice. And in terms of level of play, great for that competitive player that's looking to try out the exciting new DiamondAire blade without maybe spending that top-end pro price point. So let's hop into the specs here, starting off with shaft dimensions, which are rounded corners, just slightly concave sidewalls. Really great for a mid-kick stick like this because it allows you to get complete control, especially when you're dropping that lower hand to lower the boom and rip a big one-timer or clapper. In terms of construction, really like the exposed 18K carbon fiber. They did use a little more fiberglass and resin in this compared to that Pro model, which is a great choice for those players that maybe like to play with a little more weight behind their stick, that are maybe looking for a little more durability, or just, again, looking for a lot of great performance for the price. As I mentioned, it does have that mid-kick flex profile, so you really will be able to get a ton of great shot power, especially with that new DiamondAire blade. As you can tell, it's fully perforated from heel to toe. Huge difference from what we see in traditional blades that are typically filled with foam. This does a handful of key things for you as a player. First thing that I personally noticed was just the overall feel. So first time I stick handled with it, I knew this was legit. I had more confidence than I've ever had before, and I really attribute that to the 100% carbon fiber construction and how stiff it is. So as I was stick handling, I felt like it wasn't budging or moving, and I knew exactly where the puck was sitting at all times, especially with that 100% carbon construction. It's transferring that feel immediately to your hand. So that was the biggest thing. Knew right away this is different and really enjoyed that aspect of it. In terms of shooting, it did take a little bit longer for me to get used to taking shots with this, especially on those wrist shots where they tend to kind of roll off the blade. It doesn't load the same as a traditional foam-filled blade. But what I did like about it, when I did figure it out, felt like there was a bigger sweet spot, and as I was taking shots, I was getting maybe a little more power into my shots there as well. Now, you could think that it's maybe because of the more aerodynamic design to it. I didn't personally feel like I was swinging faster with it, but it just felt like that pure carbon construction was just something that was adding a little more power to my shots. Now, over time, what's going to be really exciting is that the construction compared to the foam-filled blade isn't going to have that blade fatigue or that breakdown over time. So that's the saddest thing about getting a new stick, is taking it out, shooting with it, so excited with that brand new pop and feel, and then for it just to slowly dwindle over time. 100% carbon with no foam, that's not going to be an issue. So again, really cool to see there too. It didn't just stop with that 100% carbon construction, which I've already said a couple times in this video. They use their liquid tape, which is this tacky texture that we see on the forehand and the backhand, as well as a raised texture, again, from heel to toe. So compared to those traditional blades that require about 15 grams of tape when you do a standard tape job, you don't need to use any tape with this at all, because the grip texture as well as that raised texture give you that exact same feel, and in my opinion, a little bit more direct feel, since you're not having to go through the cloth to have it reach your hand. So I thought that was really sweet. But the other key advantage is that you're not using tape on the bottom. So as you're stick handling, there's less resistance, there's less snow buildup, and overall, just some really cool upgrades compared to what we've seen in the hockey industry for just such a long time. Now, in terms of feel and weight, in this 75 Flex, this is just over 400 grams, which is really impressive. And I don't know how they did this on this mid-price point stick. This is that classic V3, so the Pro is still above it, and this is just above 400 grams, which is really impressive considering it has a full mid-kick point as well as that 100% carbon fiber blade. And as I mentioned earlier too, I've used the Mirage line with that low kick point, but this has that same exact blade, and this is something that you look at it, it's wild, it's different, but it's not a gimmick. It's something that you're gonna feel immediately, and as you learn to shoot with it, it's something that's really going to help your shot as well. So really cool stuff to see, a really nice change in technology we haven't really seen revolutionized in a long time. But if you're looking for even more information, go ahead and hit the link in the description. Give us a thumbs up on the video. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed to the #1 hockey gear review channel on YouTube. See you next time.